People, deluded. I'm back again. Allegedly, Arsenal are in talks to sign a Brazilian Wonderkid. A Euros 2024 winner has rejected Arsenal Football Club. Merino, allegedly, according to reports, has a big chance at the time of doing this video to be featured in some capacity against Paris Saint-Germain. And there's a couple of other bits and pieces for us to get into. Before we begin, appreciative to have you lot tuned in. New month, new blessings. September was great for Arsenal. I hope it's great for you lot. Smash the like button. Don't forget to subscribe. Get the creative juices flowing, people. And again, make sure you join me for Arsenal versus PSG watch along. We kick off at 8 p.m. I'll be live from 7 p.m. Now, if I share my screen with you guys and we get straight into business and what we need to get into, people, if my screen will share. Thank you very much. There we go. Now, September, they said it was going to make or break us. And who knows, people? You know, I think considering we haven't been at our sparkling best, considering, you know, the injuries and what they said about us, to be undefeated in September, undefeated, yeah, that is the right word, is fantastic, people. You know, beat Spurs, drew with City. It could have been a bit more dramatic, but beat Leicester, did not lose to Atalanta, through to the next round of the cup with Bolton. And anything else I've missed out, we've handled business. Our next 6 games start today. Obviously, PSG at home. Then we've got Southampton at home on Saturday. We then travel to Bournemouth, and Bournemouth away is going to be trickier, more trickier than it is on paper. Shakhtar Donetsk, Liverpool also home ties, and then we go to Preston. For me, I want 4 wins, 5 wins even, really and truly, man. You need to beat Southampton. You need to beat Bournemouth. Would love to beat PSG. Personally, I believe the Gironas, the Shakhtars, the Monacos, depending on what happens in the PSG game, you need to go and win. Preston away is going to be tricky, and Liverpool at home is a tough one. So yeah, let me know your thoughts on what October is. Now, I'm not going to read this article because it annoys me. As we know, people, there's clearly a loophole in English football in a sense of, you know, Trossard got the red card or the second yellow or whatever, you know, I can't even remember now. It was a second yellow, right? At the best time, because obviously it was dramatic against City. He served his suspension against Bolton, a game he may have played in, probably not, considering the game time he's had. And then he was back for Leicester, where obviously he did the business for us. We all know it's a loophole, but you know, in general, it's an Arsenal player that sparked debate about it needing to be closed, which is absolutely ludicrous, people. Dermot Gallagher, again, is very contrasting the way he looks at things, considering who says it and who doesn't. If you lot remember, people, you know, he got on to Declan Rice about his second yellow. Then on Ndidi at the weekend, he said, if you want players yellow carded for that, we're going to have a lot of players sat in the stands. I personally thought it was the letter of the law, but fair enough, man. On playing at home against Paris Saint-Germain, Mikel Arteta said everybody's looking forward to it. We missed it for a number of years. The group stage is a bit different this season. The opposition we're facing is probably at the highest level in European football. It's a great opportunity. They're missing a lot of players. Luis Enrique is a quality manager. You've got Picola and Vitaya and a bunch of talented players, people. So we're going to have to be at our best. I always say in the Premier League, I prefer our performances away from home than at the Emirates. In the Champions League, I prefer to play at the Emirates than away from home. But yeah, moving on with that, people. Allegedly, Mikel Merino apparently has a huge chance of making the squad to face PSG in the Champions League. Obviously, that was said tomorrow. Now it's today. Some ITKs have actually said he's at the hotel with the boys. The midfielder is pushing hard to be included after completing full training without any concerns earlier. There are also some reports that kind of conflict that, people, and say he's began taking part in some collective training sessions and then doing things by himself. So honestly, we'll have to know on match day, really. Last week, Mikel Arteta did allude to Merino could be back, and you would have seen he's participating in training. So his shoulder must be all right. Just stay away from Big Gabriel, isn't it, really and truly? Odegaard is not going to be called up for Norway's next international duty, which is music to my ears. As we know, Ousmane Dembele of PSG is out of the squad to face Arsenal owing to disciplinary issues with Luis Enrique following their victory over the weekend. Arsenal and Real Madrid are interested in signing Brazilian prospect Victor Reis. Arsenal and Real Madrid are among a host of top European clubs who have shown an interest in signing the Palmeiras centre-back. The two sides have made initial inquiries with Palmeiras and the players' reps regarding his availability, although there's been no formal approaches as of yet. I like what I see. I've actually done a more in-depth video, people, so turn on your notification bells and brace yourselves to check that out. The centre-back renewed his contract this summer until December 2028, with his previous deal expiring in February 2027. His termination clause is $100 million, euros, pounds, whatever that is. And Palmeiras have not set an asking price, as the intention is to keep him until after the 2025 Club World Cup. Chelsea, Liverpool, and Barcelona have all expressed an interest in him. We're not exactly short of defenders, people. Real Madrid only have 2 fit defenders, centre halves better yet, in their squad. They did try and sign, as it says here, the 18-year-old Lenny Euro, so they might look at him. You look at the number of young Brazilians that have gone over to Real Madrid. What I would say helps us is I would like to see Edu sign a top Brazilian prospect. Obviously, you know, you're going to have to give him time to adapt. He'll be 19 at the earliest, because I think he turns 19 in January, to make the move. Arteta and Arsenal have this young squad, shown we can develop players. And in particular for him, defenders. Gabriel's going better and better. Saliba's getting better and better. Benjamin White's improved dramatically. You will see Kivior, well, probably Kivior, but I meant to say Calafiori and Timber improve in that regards, people. So would love to see him signed, people. Like him a lot. As I said, check out the video that I've got coming out. Keeping up the theme with young players of tomorrow, allegedly Arsenal and Manchester United have joined Brighton in the 5 million winger transfer battle after scouting mission. I'm going to do my research and maybe get a video out for you. But Bazor Minor Torre, forgive me for mispronunciation. Allegedly, Arsenal and United and Brighton are keeping tabs on the 18-year-old who's rated at about 5 million. He's currently playing in Sweden, people, since March, and he joined them from ASEC Minasas in his homeland. Now, forgive me if I'm wrong. Was that not the club that we used to get the Ivorian talents in and then palm them off for a bit to Belgium? I'm not sure. Allegedly, he's described as jet-heeled, can play on either flank, and has already got 6 goals and 3 assists so far, people. So it does show the transition he's made from African football into Sweden. He's learning his trade. I don't care where these players come from. If he's the guy and he's got talent and he ties into what we want to do, of course, I would love the Nico Williams and those household names, but I'm for it. Apparently, he's represented by Unique Sports Group, and they've got Gordon, Gurhey, and Reece James on their books, people. United, Brighton, Wolves, and Arsenal are all understood to have sent scouts to be in attendance for Thursdays for a game against, well, a game on Thursday with Harambis Alescan clash with Hakan. You know I can't pronounce this, people. So yeah, people, we'd have to see what's going on, and they'll make quite the profit on the 370k they spent on him. They have also sold, you know, Lewis Bergvall to Spurs, people. So we'll have to see, people, man. I want talented players, bring them in. Allegedly, Tottenham are to fight Arsenal for Gyökeres. Didn't they just spend 65 million on Solanke? You never know, people. Ironically, we're just talking about Sweden. A Swedish player playing in Portugal, 2 English clubs looking at him. And fair enough, this is not the first time we've heard Spurs or Arsenal linked with him, but it's come out of Spain. I'm not saying they're wrong, but don't really make sense to me. But according to Portugal, well, I thought this was a Spanish thing. I'm sure this is a Spanish publication, but this says Portugal. Spurs are among the contenders to land Gyökeres. I like him a lot, man. I really do. I do hope next season we go in from that summer period with a top striker. Completely off topic, but I'm pretty sure clubs are voting to pass a law that the transfer window ends when the season starts. When you get 43 goals in 50 appearances for Sporting, that's going to put you on the radar of anyone. And he's already got 11 goals in 9 games so far. So he picked up where he left off. PSG, Chelsea, Spurs, Arsenal, all linked with the 26-year-old who could cost 100 million euros, which equates to about 85 million odd quid. Arsenal plan to sign Martin Odegaard alternative in January. Allegedly, people, who is this name? Or is it just a general thought? You'd imagine you've got young Ethan doing his thing there. Hasn't said anything about the players. I do think where you lose Odegaard, you don't only lose the creativity, the wonder of a left foot breaking the lines. We also lose the nucleus of our team, because obviously he helps with the press. Saka's still doing his thing, but you lose that relationship he's got with Saka and indirectly Kai Havertz. Hasn't said specifically a name, but yeah. Fabio Vieira struggled, people, with an injury since moving back to Porto. He did come off the bench, people, recently for Porto in their 4-1 win over Acuna. The man himself has said, I'm very happy, to be honest. I came back with the aim of being able to have minutes, to be able to play. I feel very good here. This is my home with the Porto fans. This is where it all started. And now I just enjoy and be happy. I'll work as hard as I can. It's a mutual affection from them to me and from me to them. It's always been that, always. This is the club where I started it all. I'm very happy to have their support, and they can count on us, because this season we're going to do everything we can to bring them joy, which is great. And I hope he plays against Manchester United, on top of hoping Porto smack up Manchester United and put even more pressure on Eric Ten Hag, people. Now, I was having this debate with Tom Canton. Big him up. Congrats on him for getting 60k subs. Go and check out the video that came out this morning, right? But, you know, You could argue, for argument's sake, Gabriel Jesus could be moved on. Tomiyasu could be moved on. Zinchenko could be moved on. Either one of the two, if not both, of Jorginho and Partey could be moved on. Fabio Vieira is not a thing for this season, but he could be moved on. Obviously, I'm not saying these players can't or can't go. We can't bring replacements, but, you know, Kivior as well. That's about 6-7 names. You know, you let them all go, you're going to have to replace them. Do we really see us, you know, addressing all those areas between January and the summer? I'm not sure, people. So we'll have to see exactly what's going on in that regards. Allegedly, Arsenal have set a £40 million asking price for, well, euros, better yet, for Gabriel Jesus, who's been linked with Saudi Arabia and also this week been linked with Palmeiras. Does need to lay a marker down. I don't think anybody really cares about Zubimendi, but he's decided allegedly his next club will be Real Madrid. So how long before Xabi Alonso becomes their manager? That's according to TBR Football, who report Zubimendi has made the decision to leave his boyhood club Sociedad at the end of the term. Apparently, despite interest from Liverpool and Arsenal once again, he wants Real Madrid. We know several clubs have been taken around the houses. Earlier this year, Arsenal had also attempted to persuade the Basque star, but despite broadly agreeing on contract terms, he ultimately decided to break off all communication with the Gunners, leaving them frustrated and unable to make fresh contact when the summer window opened. So that's where I don't believe Arsenal's interest goes any further. I think he's a quality player. I think undoubtedly Arsenal would have loved him, but he's done us dirty. He's broke off contact. It seems like once you kind of conduct yourselves like that, you look at Vlahovic, you look at Locatelli, our football club say forget about that. So we'll have to see, but that's what's being reported there, people. Doesn't appear there's anything new here. Once again, Spurs are to rival Arsenal for Gyökeres. Again, Timber, I won't read this all out to you, but he's the latest player to agree with Rodri, Alisson, and actually Conde about the fixture calendar list being very intense for footballers, people. Kai Havertz said he seeks a second Champions League success, which we obviously like. I was just reading that for myself, and it's here, so we might as well see it there. Timber said he's grateful to be fit and be part of what's going on, people, and also as well as being in the Champions League. So that's also amazing. Before we get out of here, people, I'm sure I need, where is it? Because John Stones was quite, I think, there it is, people. One sec, I'm about to copy and paste this tab before we get out of here. I find this quite interesting. Now, Arsenal that have been, you know, not won a title for 10, 20 plus years, quite in the last couple of years been the bridesmaid, never quite the groom, novice manager, players that haven't got fight. You've got, you know, these lot celebrated last minute equalizers. Only Arsenal can get mocked for getting a point with 10 men and also celebrating an equalizer in dramatic circumstances. But this is interesting from John Stones. Let me know what you lot think and see where you catch on. I think that's why we've been successful over the years. Everyone has played a massive part in that success and playing the role when called upon. For instance, coming on at Arsenal, ending up scoring the winning goal. That was my time to be ready when called upon, as other players have done the same. I wish we could play every game, but we have an incredible squad, a very busy schedule, and being ready for when he, in brackets, Pep Guardiola, wants us, which I like the comments around everybody has to play their part in the squad. Last time I checked, scoring the winning goal. So did they see that as 3 points? Which I'm not criticizing it. It probably is a slip of the tongue, but we've got the treble winners. You know, all the great things City and Pep Guardiola has done and John Stone's been a part of. We've got them referring to that as a win. Luck, you know, funny enough to say we've done all right. We really do have them rattled. So yeah, people, don't forget to turn on your notification bells. Let me know your thoughts. Smash the like button. Join me at 7 p.m. to watch Arsenal against Paris Saint-Germain. Turn on your notification bells because we went over the Brazilian Wonderkid. I've got an in-depth apologies video coming out for you guys. And you know, there's always vids. Appreciative for you lot for your support as usual, people. Hope September was great for you lot. New month, new blessings. Hope October and the end of the year is even better. Appreciative for you lot tuning in. Peace.
Like